Well, my goal in any writing, choral writing, any writing, is to do music that is rewarding for the performers, for the listeners. And so I always strive to write things that are going to work well, that are going to be worth the effort, and that are idiomatic for whatever I'm writing for. I like to write things that make whatever instrument I'm using, whatever voices I'm using, be at their best. And I find you get fine performances when you do that. Performers are grateful for that. I don't write down to people, but I want to do things that are grateful for their instrument, whether it's a violin or a voice or an oboe. And so I want music that people will feel good about doing, whether it's an effort or hardly any effort. I want it to flow well. And so I guess my musical philosophy is to provide that. A Sprig of Rosemary was commissioned by Earl Rivers, who's the choral conductor at the University of Cincinnati Conservatory. He asked me for a choral piece to be done at his son's wedding long ago now. 15 years ago, 1998 was when his son was married, and Earl wanted a piece for that occasion. So he asked me to do it. He didn't suggest a text, so I was searching for a text, which is the hardest part of any commission, I think. And I went to one of my go-to poets, Amy Lowell, whose works I've used many times for settings, and found this little poem called A Sprig of Rosemary. And as I read the poem, I thought, well, it's not specifically for a wedding, but it has a wonderful sentiment for a wedding, with its images of imagining this person, but thinking of their hands rather than their face, engaged in many pursuits. And then the last part, very beautiful words, beautiful imagery, where she talks about hearing the sound of their voice and the sweet brightness which is their soul. And I thought, well, this is a very nice thing for a wedding. It was a very curious thing to me to see that the title was nowhere in the poem. A Sprig of Rosemary, or even the word rosemary, is not mentioned anywhere in the poem. So I wondered about this, and in an old dictionary, you have to find an old one, because new dictionaries will just say rosemary, a plant used for seasoning. But the old ones will tell you earlier things. And a sprig of rosemary refers to the fact that rosemary is a traditional symbol of remembrance and constancy. And I thought, well, that's a very nice thing for a wedding. So that's how it came about. For me, the basic element of any choral piece I'm doing starts with the text. And I want words that are beautiful words, not only together making a beautiful image, but the words themselves are good sounding words. And Amy Lowell tends to provide that. So I try to just complement that, and the richness of the harmony and the sort of sweetness, in fact, of the harmony of this piece, the sweet quality of this particular text by Amy Lowell. So that's what I was thinking about and striving for as I did this piece.